Okay, let's dive right in. We're about to explore an idea that might just completely change how you look at a pen and paper. You know, we're always told to write things down so we don't forget. But what if that's just scratching the surface? What if writing isn't just about storing information, but about creating it from scratch?
So let me ask you something. When you grab a pen, is your main goal just not to forget? Are you just trying to record what you heard in a class or in a meeting? If you said yes, hey, you are definitely not alone. But you might be missing out on writing's greatest superpower.
You see, for years now, a movement in education called Writing to Learn has been pointing out this shocking truth. They argue that if we only use writing to remember stuff, we're basically using a supercomputer as a cheap calculator. We're missing its most powerful function entirely.
And this is the core idea right here. Passive note-taking is just, well, it's like being a human photocopier. But active writing, that is a whole different ballgame. It's a tool that doesn't just record the thoughts you already have. It actually generates brand new ones right there on the page. So what is this superpower then? Well, think of it like this. Writing isn't a storage tank for your brain. It's your brain's engine. It's a cognitive engine that takes all the scattered, raw ideas floating around in your mind and actively forges them into something stronger, clearer, and way more useful. So how does this engine actually work? Well, first off, it activates something called metacognition, which is really just a fancy way of saying thinking about your own thinking. The second you try to write an idea down, your brain is forced to look it right in the eye, and suddenly you see exactly where your understanding is solid and, more importantly, where all the holes are. Okay, and here's the second key. As you start trying to find the right words to fill in those holes, something amazing happens. Taking a vague feeling or some fuzzy concept and forcing it into a concrete sentence, well, it reorganizes the whole thing in your head. You're not just describing the thought, you're literally building it, brick by brick. And finally, this engine anchors that new, structured thought deep into your long-term memory. It's this powerful one-two punch, the physical act of your hand moving across the page, combined with the mental workout of building logic. That's how simple information gets transformed into something you can actually call wisdom. So, it all boils down to this. Recording is passive. It's all about what's already happened. But inventing, that's active. That's about creating a new understanding, a new way forward. The people who get this don't just know more. They actually learn how to think on a whole different level. Now this is where things get really cool, almost magical. Because this isn't just about school or work. This is about personal discovery. It's about your pen uncovering insights that were buried deep inside you this whole time. I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever been, I don't know, journaling or just writing an email, and a sentence appears on the page that totally surprises you? An idea that you honestly had no idea was in your head until the very moment your hand wrote it down? That's the discovery process we're talking about. So how does this happen? Well, look at the difference here. On one side, you have bullet points. They're great for just listing facts. But wisdom, real wisdom is born from a story, a narrative. When you write, I felt this, and then this happened, which taught me that, you're weaving facts and feelings together to create meaning. You're not just listing data, you're actually building wisdom. But there is a major enemy to this entire process, and it's called perfectionism. That little voice in your head telling you to write the perfect sentence is the very thing that blocks discovery. The magic only happens when the pen keeps moving. The answer isn't sitting in your head all neat and tidy. It's literally born from the movement of your pen. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start? That blank page can be pretty intimidating. So we're going to give you a super simple, powerful tool to get you going. The 20 magic prompts. The whole idea is incredibly simple. You don't need some grand plan. You don't need the perfect topic. All you have to do is pick one, just one, question from the list. Put your pen on the paper and just start answering it. That's it. You just let the engine start to run. And let's be super clear, the pressure is off. This is not a formal report card. Think of it more like a short, honest chat with yourself. You only need to tackle 1 or 2 questions a day, and your answers don't need to be beautiful paragraphs. Bullet points? Fine. Single words? Totally fine. The only goal is to get the pen moving.
So what do these prompts actually look like? Well, here are a few examples. Questions like, what wisdom is today's biggest frustration trying to teach me? Or maybe,
when did I feel a small spark of insight today? See, these aren't tests. They're just invitations to explore your own life and find the wisdom that's already hidden there.
So, if you're ready to fire up your own cognitive engine, we wanted to make it as easy as possible. We put all 20 prompts together on a simple one-page list. If you want it, just pull out your phone right now and scan the QR code on your screen. You can save it and get started today. And we'll leave you with this final thought. Your life is a story that's being written every single day, and writing is the tool you use to understand it, to shape it, and to discover what's coming next. So stop waiting for the perfect words. Just pick up your pen and write the next page.